cool. So, wanted to talk a bit about Bitcoin Miami. First off, how was it?
It was an amazing experience. A funny segue into that, I actually saw an exhibit where a Tesla was mining Bitcoin. So I think he's making that an option. I think he's going to integrate Bitcoin and or Doge mining into Teslas and or the Powerwall. This is not financial advice, not financial advisor, pure skepticism, but they didn't have that Tesla mining there on accident. So, it was just something I saw. And the event itself, it was amazing. So I got down there the day before the industry day. And the first day, industry day, was really just, people there who are, there to do business, there to meet. And there were some speakers I saw, but like I was really most well, first of all, Michael Saylor and Kathy Wood were amazing. Definitely had to see them in person.
Mm-hmm.
And just to hear the passion they speak about this with, about this technology with, and like the certainty they had in it, and just the way they think about it from a traditional finance standpoint. I mean, Michael Saylor enough to keep that much on it on their balance sheet. Now, I don't know if people know this, but there was a change recently in the reporting rules for companies, for public companies who hold crypto on their balance sheet, that they have to like however the balance sheet works, but they have to write it down on their quarterly balance sheet. So like between 60,000 where we were in, what is it, like November, not October, so long ago, but yeah, like 50,000 when we were back there, like to where we are now, it looks like a huge
Mm-hmm.
loss on these public companies, and people that like aren't in the space are like, okay, like what's going on? And it kind of threatens the equity, or the company itself. But to see them, take on all that risk and still be able to talk, with conviction about where it's going and continue to make these purchases. If you're on Twitter, you hear from the mountaintops every time Michael Saylor makes a big Bitcoin purchase. And then Kathy Wood, she's a trailblazer in just the equity space. I don't know a whole lot, about equities in general, but I know that she seems to have her finger on the pulse of where everything's going, and she seems to outperform and kind of know what's next, and has really been talking about this tech for a while. And I know, much like Michael Saylor buys the dips for Bitcoin, she buys the dips on Coinbase. She has her own conviction in her own way, kind of in something that seems like it's not doing too well, to be honest. Like, if we just look at the chart, but like I said, these institutions, they have long-term horizons and have a lot of research and a lot of backing that goes into making these decisions. So like they probably see something we don't, or the rest of the market doesn't. But fact of the matter is, they're very in it and very have huge conviction. It's amazing hearing that from them live on stage. And then I also got to see Serena Williams, Aaron Rodgers, and Odell Beckham on there, and it was just really cool seeing three like cultural icons like speaking.
For sure.
Experience with it. And other than that, just going around to the different exhibits within the event center was great. I got to establish a lot of great connections with Future Vector partners. And then there were events outside of the actual conference center, kind of like parties, cocktail, happy hours, things like that. Got to meet Ryan Selkis of Masari. He also, I believe he founded the Digital Currency Group, if I'm not wrong, and something else. But like it was great, like just meeting him and shaking his hand like he's a normal dude, and he just had on like, I don't know, like sneakers and like cargo shorts, and like it was just like chilling. Like it was cool seeing these people. And then I don't know if any of you listened to the Decrypt Daily, but Matt Deemer, he was there as well, and I got to meet him after one of the more political talks that I went to. It was cool. They had like 5 or 6 different rooms. So like if you weren't in the main stage, there were like other things going on. There was like a mining stage where people talked about mining. There was like a regulatory stage where people talked about like
regulation, legislation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then they had a bunch of like just really cool like outdoor stuff. They had concerts like going on, like Steve Aoki and some other stuff going on. But it was great. I really enjoyed the atmosphere, and it was really well done. All in all, yeah. No, I definitely would suggest going back. Definitely just going back. Yeah,
Sounds like a really good experience.
I know there were some very big topics as well. One of the ones I wasn't there for was the Jack Mallers announcement, which I think is very underrated. TLDR is NCR. This company owns, I think the number is 1 out of every 5 or 6 point of sale systems in the world or in the US. Sorry, I'm like just everywhere with my stats, but they have a lot of POS systems. So any POS system now that they own is able to accept cryptocurrency. So all of a sudden, overnight, kind of like last year, the El Salvador thing. Like Jack Mahler like loves to come in and just like bam, like do his thing, and it's always like everyone was kind of like, oh, what's he gonna announce? And that was the big announcement. So overnight, I think it was something like 400,000 different stores are now able to accept crypto, and like it's not like they accept it and have to keep it. Like they accept it and then it gets like converted into dollars and or like whatever they want on the back end. But apparently, because it's running on crypto rails, the actual transaction fees are going to be cheaper than traditional payment, ACH bank, like, all that. So I don't quote me on that, but I believe that's what Stripe and Jack Mallers are up to and announced. But yeah, no, it was a really big announcement there. I would say the biggest one I heard when I was there, just because it opens up so much possibility all of a sudden, just like that, basically. So, but all in all, great. Love Florida. My parents actually live in Southwest Florida, so not too far. I actually lived in Miami for a while, so I have some friends in the area as well. So I was able to meet up with some of them there as well, and yeah, it was great.